welcome to my live stream. Anyway, guys, just to let you know, I will definitely show you how to draw shapes and 3D shapes that will help you form a human body. I will also draw stick figures and build, draw the shapes over them and guide you in that direction too. So yeah, guys, I think you will really like it. Sorry. Anyway, guys, I have been practicing practicing drawing and have learned it. And I'm still practicing some, but I've learned about stick figures, I've learned about shapes, I've learned about a lot of majorities in how to draw the human body. So I've got everything just about down pat, and I will show you and teach you what I've learned. Now let's stop just talking and actually do the work. Okay. Alright. So let's draw a stick figure. Shape that. And we're not going to worry about the legs and all that just yet. I'm not going to worry about the hands and all that. So, the head, if you're drawing, starts with a circle. Now this is if you're building it up with just shapes. Like a ball, a tube, and then we fill in that ball. And we shape it into that, do that, that. I'll even draw over it with a pen. That way you know the direction I'm taking with this. And as you can tell, I'm drawing a person looking my way or more that way. And now, I'm going to draw some more circles or balls, if you want to call them that. Balls. I'm going to draw that shape, more like a oval shape, and we're going to cut it up into anatomy structure. And the upper arms that join shoulders are ovals. You just draw more ovals and balls where the elbows are. Now for hands, they're kind of like that. And this, again with the circles, that, and just fill it in. Those are, you get the idea. Now, let's go back to just shapes. Now, this is a circle. It's not a shape because it doesn't have 3D graphics in it. It's just a circle. So we're going to do that. And now we have a ball that's still, there's no texture to it. There's only shading. And if you want to darken it, you just go thicker and give it more lines. And what I like to do with the light source, I like to do a little shading too on that, but just to indicate that there's some life in it. And as we can tell, we have a ball. I'm going to make that more clearer. Make it with the reflection of the sun. And also with the ball, you don't want anything to be underneath here that doesn't have shading. And I'm going to make that a little bigger because the ball is bigger. And also, guys, with shading, make sure it is realistic to the size of your drawings or your sketches. And now we're going to do a cone. Now this is just a normal shape. It's not a cone, it's a rectangle. So, change that. We're going to give it some texture. I'm going to do that. Now that looks more like it has some cloth material to it. To me, that's what it looks like. So, and that's just a regular comb. And as you can tell, it's further off. Now, let's draw another comb. Give it lines to indicate the shadow. Shading. Gonna give it a little shading here. Give it a thick line, try to make it pop. And there we go. Now, as you can tell, this is in a dense, dark area right here. Very dense, dark area. We're even going to give it a, we're going to give it shading underneath, indicates the shadow. And we've, as you notice, we've even put shading underneath this side that's a little lighter. That's because of how dense dark it is. Densely dark it is. So, now let's draw a rectangle. And I'm sorry, that's a triangular shape. If I didn't pronounce that right, I apologize. So let's draw a rectangle. And it's not totally accurate. I hadn't drawn a rectangle in a while, but I know the basic concepts of it. And as you can tell, it has some life in there. It's in a dense, dark area. Now we're going to draw another rectangle. And instead of the shading coming here, we're going to fill this in. Now, I will give you a note, well, a hint on how to draw a, well, how to shade with texture. Texture is more like lines intersecting and cross-hatching each other like crazy. And going like that. As you can tell, that has some texture. That's like if you're drawing cloth or a mug, or a rug. Now this, however, is just straight. There's no texture. But if you go like that, that just indicates it is a darker shadow. Has a little bit of texture to it, but it's just for regular drawing with cross hatching. Now, the lighter the lines are in your shading, the lighter the shaded area is. Like, let's say here's a person in a light room. Well, the shading, the shadowy shading areas around him or on his clothing would be like this. Now, I'm gonna divide it right here. If it's darker, you cross-hatch. Or if it's even much darker than that, you cross-hatch pretty heavy. Now, if you just want to do shading with hatching, you just do it this way. Now, the thing is, with hatching, if you want to do shading, dark shading with shading, hatching, you just go like that. And as you can tell, that's shading. And cross-hatching is just like that. Now with me, I squibble my cross-hatching sometimes. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Alright. Now, here's a circle. As you can tell, this has a lot of texture to it. Like it's a rough ball subject or a rough wood. We're even gonna make it look like wood. Gonna put it on here like a bedpost. Gonna give it some designing here. And there we go. We have a bedpost knobbed rail. Now, let's draw something else in here. Shapes. Let's draw a square. That's not the most perfect square I've done, but we're gonna give it some shading. And as you can tell, it has a shadowy area. But we're going to make it darker than that. and darker. Darker. Now, as you can tell, they're starting to blend together. We don't want that. So right here, we're going to make this much darker. And we're going to broaden the lines that form the square. Or cube, rather. Because this is actually a cube. 3D shaped cube. And now, going to do a little hatching here. And we're going to give it some shading here. Sorry, my dad's not feeling well. And there we go. It's not the best cube I've done, but it's okay. And now I'm going to show you how to draw shapes. In order to make a face and a hand. The face, when you're starting with shapes, you always start like a circle, with a circle like we brought up. And I draw little outlines when I'm drawing just shapes for the head. We've got a tube here, got a circle, got an oval, and we've got outlines for the face. And now we're going to build the face. And I want this face to be in a dark area. Make it really dark. And now we just smudge it. And as you can tell, we have a face that is darkened from the shading and a shadow, and the light is coming that way a little bit, so well, not that way, but from behind. It's coming from behind. So now let's draw shapes to build up a hand. I want to do little circles here. Then you want to make like a cut off oval right here, and then you want to make another circle and then join that there, join the thumb, and then you want to make another couple cut off ovals, make circles, then you just fill it in. And there you go, we have a hand, and you can do whatever you want with it. And now we're going to draw some more squares. Squares are great for drawing shape practice because there's just so much depth in them. I'm just going to draw a few squares here. Now this one is coming more in that direction. I'm going to draw some more. This one is going that way, like really up there, and this one is going in the opposite direction from the other two. And with these squares, we're going to change the shading. Well, not change the shading, but we're going to change the direction of the shading. So this here, that way, shade it that way, and this. Light's coming from here, light's coming from there. Shade that in. Light's coming from there. And as you can tell, these, even going to smudge them, these squares, these cubes rather, one's more of a rectangle, they have depth, they have feeling, they have shading. Shading brings something to life than just having it in 3D. So what I'm going to do now is draw an odd shape. And I'm going to have this going here. And as you can tell, it's cut off. And I want to do that for a particular reason, to give more characteristics and feeling into this. Now this is more for like glass right here, more like for a shiny object than all the rest. And now I'm going to draw some more shapes, forming a T, some more squares, you know, like Teen Titans. And now I'm going to give it some feeling in here. And since this is made out of ice, we're going to do that. This drawing, you know, the drawing is like ice. I'm just going to smudge it. Now we have ice, we have glass, we have all that stuff. We have all the really good stuff here. And I'm going to draw an oval. This. Bring it to life, give it some texture. Like it's a rock. Make it look more like a rock. You have to build some bumps. You have to build some really immense texture. And there we go, we have a rock, and we're even going to put some grass in here. And now we're going to put part of a tree here, just because we can. And that's more like a big boulder. I'm going to put the sun in here with some clouds, some birds. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's my live stream. I've shown you a little outside the box of how to draw shapes. I've shown you how to start out with stick figures. I've shown you how to how to I'm having some technical difficulties with my phone. But anyway, I'm trying to remember where I was. Oh, I've shown you how to shade with texture, with subjects such as glass, ice, stuff that I know of how to draw, and how to draw shapes from just knowing the shapes and putting them into drawing faces and so on. Well, anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is a live recording, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And don't forget, keep the build up out there, keep building it up to the max, and good luck. I am autistic, but I don't let that bring me down, and I'm glad I'm autistic. So, yeah, I use it. Alright. See you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.